Hi, in this video we're going to be talking about how to create these tiny planet images. I'm using the Mavic Air 2 and I'm also going to be using Photoshop to do the processing. I would imagine that any drone would be able to do the same as long as it can shoot some sort of 360 panorama, and any software will work, but the descriptions and the tags and the labels may be slightly different. So the first thing we need to do is get the drone up and get some shots taken. Church in the village where I live, it's quite a good sort of test area to go out, and it's great for flying. As you can see, it's so flat where I live, so it's nice to get a vantage point. So we're going to switch it now into the panoramic sphere mode, and this will then go off and take a number of photos. The sound effects aren't a cheesy add-on, they're actually, what comes out of the camera. Well, out of the app while it's taking the photos. So it's going to take all these pictures, and then the software is quite clever and quite smart really, where it does stitch it all together for you, and you really do have to do not an awful lot of work afterwards. You may see sort of the 360 stuff that you see on Google Street View, or if you see 360 images on Facebook and that, they're really easy to do from this. You just upload this image. It looks a bit warped. I'll show you the image as it comes out of the camera. Okay, so we've got the image off the drone now, and you can see it is quite distorted. This is the final image that comes out of the panoramic generation. We've got a nice sort of horizon there, the church is in there, all around here. This is kind of quite warped. So in order to, what we need to do to change this into the tiny planet is we need to do something called polar coordinates. So in Photoshop, there are a few things that we need to do first to get this to work, and so bear with me, it kind of makes sense as we go along. First is go to image size, and we need it to be a square. So at the moment we've got 8192 by 4096 and it's linked here. So we need to unlink this option, just click that, and this will allow us to type in 8192 as the new height. Okay, so we've kind of got an even more bizarre file now. The next thing we need to do is we need to flip this image vertically, so the land is at the top. Nice and easy. And then the next thing is we're going to filter, distort polar coordinates, and we need to make sure we've got rectangular to polar ticked. Click OK, and we've got a tiny planet. So we can just flip that again just to get us back to, so we've got the church at the top, and there's your planet. We'll go through the same one as well. This is another one that I did this morning, and went out and sort of took the drone out because it's such a nice sunny day today. This is the bottom of my village where I live. So we'll do the same process again. So we need to image size, make sure the width and the height are the same. So essentially we're turning it into a square from a rectangle. Just resize that so we can see it on the screen. Then again, it's image rotation, flip vertical, filter. Because we've already done it once, we've got the coordinates up here as the last used filter, so we can easily just click that one again. And there you go, another tiny planet. I actually prefer this one. I think this one looks better because the clouds are not as dramatic in the sky. So you can obviously tell here where the cloud ends. But I think if the way to do it and it look really cool would be to have a nice clear blue sky. I quite fancy going out and doing some at night actually, and see if we can get some stars coming up, and I think that'd be quite cool with the street lights on and everything. So that's it. That's a really nice, easy, quick way to create a tiny planet. Obviously, if you want to play with the contrast and saturation, everything, you can either do that in Photoshop, Lightroom, or whichever editor you're using.